Hello everyone, Dale's Films here, back with another video. Today on Stat Party, episode 2, we will be deciphering just how good Barry Bonds was. And is he the greatest player of all time? Alright, I know what you're saying. He did steroids. He admitted to using steroids, so all of his stats are invalid. I'm gonna clear that up right now. Yes, he did take steroids. But if you choose to believe the story, where he believed he was taking flax seeds and arthritis medication supposedly prescribed to him by his trainer, and 2, he was a Hall of Famer before any PED use. If you refuse to watch this video just based on that now, you do you, but I'm gonna continue. So just how good was Barry Bonds? That's a complicated question. Actually, it's not. He was, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, the greatest baseball player to ever live. I'll repeat that for you guys. The greatest baseball player to ever live, to ever play, to ever baseball. He's better than Babe Ruth, better than Willie Mays, better than Ted Williams, the best ever. And I really don't think it's close, and yes, I'm going to explain it all. This is Stat Party. Let's start with his offense, shall we? Not mentioning he has the most home runs of all time, with 762. But he also has a career slash 298, 444, and 607. That's good enough for a 1051 OPS. How good is that? The last MVP's, both American and National League average, is 995, and those were those players' best seasons. It's good enough for 4th all-time in an era with better pitching, more segregation so that black and Hispanic and all people can play, where in Ruth's era and a little of Williams, that did not really exist, and they only faced white competition, which, as we see today, is not the best of competition. Bonds had to play against the best, and a lot of them, to be fair, were on steroids. Bonds also put up some of the greatest seasons of all time. From 2001 to 2004, he had the best 4-year stretch by any player ever. In the history of baseball, there have only been 6 seasons with an OPS over 1,300. Babe Ruth had 3 of them, including the 6th, 5th, and 3rd best seasons. But the other players to have one are Barry Bonds, and you guessed it, Barry Bonds. This includes his 2 best seasons of all time, peaking in 2004. How great was Bonds' 04 campaign? Well, it's not like the others. His previous 6 MVPs, which he won another one in 2004, including 3 in a row up to this point, have come from his power and slugging numbers, including 73 home runs in 2001 and a career-high 863 slugging that season. But in 04, he hit only 45 home runs, only drove in 101 runs, and only had 27 doubles. But the magic number of that season, and a record that will most likely never be broken, is his 609 OBP. Not slugging, but OBP. That season, Barry got on base 60.9% of the times. His 232 walks and 120 intentional walks are also records, and they will probably never be broken. And all this came from fear. Every pitcher in the league feared him, and he even got walked with the bases empty and the bases loaded. And his 1422 OPS is the only season with 1 over 1400. Oh, and did I mention he was 39? He was not just some youngster with a good eye, he was an old guy in sports terms. Barry was the most feared hitter of all time, and he had the greatest eye of all time. If you want to look into how good he was at taking pitching, I recommend John Boyce's video on him about how good Barry Bonds would be without a bat. But that was just one stretch of his career. A few seasons did not make him the greatest player of all time. No, it was his consistency as well. After 1990, his slugging never dipped under 514. Only 20 players this season got over that number, and his career low OPS after 1990 was 924, which only 6 players this season did better than. Okay, that was a lot of offense, and I don't want to bore you with all the offense statistics that he led in, and he led in a lot every year. But Barry was also a 5-tool player, which is extremely rare in baseball. Not as much today, but back then it was even more. He could hit, and hit with powers we've seen. Now let's get into the 3rd and 4th that goes along with it, fielding and throwing. Bonds, along with being undoubtedly the best hitter in the modern game, backed it up with impressive defensive stats. If you care about awards, he won 8 gold gloves, but this is a stat party and we like defensive metrics. He had a positive UZR, which for his type of player was very impressive. He had amazing defensive seasons, including 2003, where his UZR was above 11. It was hard to find a lot of defensive data on Bonds considering the time he played in, but the data shown backs up his great case. And the fifth and final piece to the 5-tool player is speed. Bonds is probably one of the most underrated runners in his time, or maybe even in history. Yes, in his later years he barely stole bases, but in his prime he had 5 30-30 seasons and even a 40-40 seasons. In total, he swept 514 bags in his career, only getting caught 141 times. Claim roids, or anything you want, but the stats have shown us that, in my opinion, and it's totally fine to have a different one, that Barry Bonds was the most dominant and the best player to ever play the game of baseball. About it, he is the 5-tool player every team looks for. He may have had the greatest eye in history of baseball, and he struck fear to the hearts of every pitcher he faced. Thank you guys for watching another video. I just want to say thank you for all the support we've had recently. It's been crazy. I don't even know how to put into words, but if you like this video, like and subscribe. Go visit my website, www.dalesfilms, for more updates and a Red Sox blog. And Stat Party Episode 3 will be out. I actually don't know when. I'm starting another series, which is looking at the past draft classes and the top 10 picks of those draft classes. So if you want to see that, hit the like button down below. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye.